Hey, it's Dan. Welcome back. You're watching iAllegedly, and got a good one for you today. I am in Newport Beach on arguably my favorite street, and today we're going to talk about how banks around the globe are limiting people's cash withdrawals and making it more difficult to be in business, to say the least. Before I get into it, please take a second. Please hit the like button. Please hit the subscribe button. And today we have a sponsor. Now a word from our sponsor, Patriot Gold Group. Steve Forbes, Robert Kiyosaki, Peter Schiff have all said that a major financial crisis is upon us. The CEO of Wells Fargo just was quoted saying the worst is yet to come for Americans. The Fed is helpless right now. The Fed is going to just continue to raise interest rates, whether they pivot or not. We're going to see interest rates go up during this time, and the government is doing nothing to help in any of this. Regardless of this, we could see gold hit well above $2,000 an ounce for gold. The advantage to Patriot Gold, and if you call 888-330-1341, you can get a financial guide on a 401k or IRA. No fee. It's absolutely amazing. Now, here's the cool thing. You can also get a rollover IRA that could have no fee as well. Patriot Gold is the first in-class service leader and has led through consumer affairs over the last 6 years as a leader in, gold and silver IRAs. Take a look at Patriot Gold today. Call them and get your free investor guide at 888-330-1341 and let them know that you saw it on iAllegedly. Use the link below as well, guys. Now, as an individual or a business, we're limited supposedly with the amount of cash that we can take out of our accounts on a daily basis. The limit here in the States has been $10,000 before they need to report you to the IRS. And there is a form 8300 that they have to fill out if you walk in as an individual and you want $11,000 in cash. Now, what's happened is that they want to limit this. They want to limit the amount of money that people take to and from their checking accounts on a daily basis. In Israel, they went as far as passing a law that stated that you cannot take more than 6,000 shekels out a day, which is 1,770 euros or $1,770 right now. A business cannot do more than 15,000 shekels a day, which is $7,200 or euros in a day. Now, think about this. You cannot also deposit that much cash into your banking account in Israel. That's insane. Now, here in the States, we have limitations on this. Basically, it's a relationship question with your account as far as the bank is concerned, but we're starting to see this grow more and more. But this has created a huge problem in Israel, and this is coming to a theater near you guys, because you're going to see this exact same thing happen here in the States, where they're going to pass a law that's going to limit cash transactions. Now, Tamar Baca is the person that runs the fraud investigation unit for banking in Israel, and she says this is designed to get rid of the bad actors and the nefarious people. Well, wait a second. A lot of people conduct their business in green hard cash, guys. Just no two ways about it. So with that, you've got to, look at people that do auto repair, auto parts. I went to get my stereo fixed today in my car, and the guy says, I really don't want to take cards right now because I'm fighting with them. Can you pay us in cash? And they didn't work on the car, but that's what happens in business. There's a woman that owns a Mexican restaurant, Carol Hinder, who is in Iowa, who has been open for 38 years and takes cash only, doesn't believe in the credit cards, and has made cash deposits every day with her business. Now, in doing so, the IRS flagged her account because it was something nefarious. So not only did they flag it, they also seized $33,000 out of her checking account and froze it and said that she's not going to get it back because of anti-terrorism laws. She runs a Mexican restaurant in Iowa that's been there 38 years. Okay? Whew. So crazy that this is happening. But, going back to Israel, this is creating a problem with them, so much so that in just 3 weeks' time that this law has been in place, that businesses are getting lawyers, businesses want to sue the government. How do we conduct business? And again, there is a professor out of Austria who's contacted the administrators of Israel to say, listen, this is not how fraud is conducted now with organized crime. They use debit cards and they use online banking and electronic banking. Rarely is it done in cash right now, and did all these different studies on it. And the story's below. It's kind of cool to read that. But you're seeing this being limited more and more and more and more. Now, think about this. I've had people write me and say, Dan, I needed to go get $8,000 out of my bank, and they walked in on a Thursday and they said, yeah, we can't do that. We don't have that much cash here. Can you come back on Tuesday? Whoa, Tuesday to get $8,000. That's nuts, guys. Now, this is happening all over. There's a couple TikToks where a man went in and wanted $100,000 in cash, and they said, 2 weeks. We can get you $100,000 here in 2 weeks. Well, I want my money out of the account. And here's the thing that you may not know about. Our banking system is not you walking into the bank and putting in your deposit, you getting your Social Security money or your pension. It goes into the bank and you think that money's sitting there in your account for you to wait and go get. No, the bank lends it out. The bank will pay you, if you're lucky, if you're getting paid interest, about 0.06% right now on interest. They lend the money out to other banks and to life insurance companies and things like that, and are getting there from 4 to 20% right now on whatever they're lending the money out for. That's how the bank's making money, and it's called fractional reserve banking. They don't have your money. And through time, where it used to be, they used to have to maintain a set amount of money in the bank. It was as high as 35% at one point. So if you put $10,000 in the bank, they had to keep $3,500 in there. Now, I believe it's down below 1% right now. So it's absolutely insane. It's a completely different world right now than it's been ever when it comes to this. So more and more banks are having limitations. Wells Fargo, B of A, Chase will not allow you to do a third-party deposit. Now think about this. Grandma wants to go make a deposit into your bank account because little Johnny's a good kid. She wants to put $25 into your bank account. She can no longer do that because of anti-terrorism laws, because grandma's clearly, a terrorist, okay? So she can't do that anymore. Well, give him a money order, okay? Okay, well, it's not the same thing as me giving him cash or me surprising him with $25 because he got good grades. Cannot do that right now. Isn't that terrible when you think about? Now, there should be like a limit, you know what I mean? It should be like, hey, you can go do this. Now, I know somebody that went to Wells Fargo and tried to pay their rent because they went to their landlord, and the landlord said, deposit in my account. And it was close to bank's going to close at 6, Friday night, the 1st, didn't want to be late, didn't want late charges. So they went there with cash. The bank refused it. And then the bank would not sell them a money order because they were not a customer of the bank. So they had to leave, and they had to call the bank and describe to the bank their situation. Dog walker, very professional. It gets crazy. More and more people are limited with getting cash out of the bank right now. We're seeing more and more banks that don't have tellers, but guys, this is the shape of things to come. You can say, oh, that's just Israel. Well, this is happening in the UK. The UK right now uses post office for banking, and they're scared, okay? Read the story below about how so many people have hit the UK banks up over the course of July that more people are doing two things. They're socking money into a coffee can because they're worried about a rainy day, which is going to come. And they're also worried about getting by, so they're borrowing as much money, taking as much money off credit cards as they can, and they're hitting up the banks and at the post office to do this. So we're seeing this around the country more and more, but how about the poor woman that owns the Mexican restaurant? And I find it funny that she doesn't have a Hispanic, last name, and she's got this Mexican restaurant, and they stole her money. So the IRS, still will not give it back, and it's horrific. Now, to be fair to the IRS, I listed their you know, there are restrictions for cash and all that stuff too. But guys, everything's being tested right now. If you use Venmo, if you use Zelle, you are being told, hey, you're being reported. Now think about this one. When you go and get Walmart, you know, go to Walmart and you gotta get money orders and pay my bills. If you get over $500 worth of money orders, which you can get up to $1,000 at a time at Walmart, you have to give them your ID now. They have to swipe the ID so they know who you are. And that's getting reported to who? Walmart? No, it's getting reported to some governmental agency that you're walking in there and getting $3,000 worth of money orders or whatever you're doing. So it's happening, guys. It's happening before our eyes. And there's more and more things that are being sent over to the IRS that you may or may not know about. This now, you know, all these articles lead to like, hey, here's how you can get around that, and here's how you can run your life. Well, one thing that I learned with the PPP loans, think about this. This channel was started to help people get grants and PPP loans and government funding and things like that I was good at, you know, through my startup business. Anyways, one thing that was crazy was you'd get small companies that, you know, I'm saying they do under $10,000 in sales a month, but they were eligible for the PPP funding. And when they changed it and they got the individual PPP funding, these people could get individual loans. So they would have banking with places like Chime and these online fintech companies that were not a physical bank. They were basically an online bank with a debit card, and you have a bank. It's got a routing number, it's got an account number, and you're considered a legitimate, you know, banker at that point, a customer of a bank. Well, these people would go out there and they would borrow PPP money. And the sick thing about this is that this happened with Chime more than anybody else, where people went out and they were given like $8,000 in PPP money, and Chime froze it and seized the money and shut the account down. And these poor people did not have access to that money, and some majority never got it back. They got the money seized. Well, this is a suspicious deposit. I would have people write me. I wrote to Chime and I called Chime on people's behalf. And we can't talk to you about this. Well, this is ridiculous. You guys are going to get sued. And eventually, it's the lowest levels of the economy. It's the smallest business people that don't have access to, you know, accountants and lawyers and things like that are running, maybe they're running a service company. Maybe they're running a landscaping business. A flower shop was one of them that I remember. You know, really small flower delivery business. And she lost $8,800. Okay, terrible, guys. So Zelle is reporting, Venmo's reporting now. Here's one I love. A friend of mine sent me this subscriber that writes me a lot. Sold something at a garage sale, and the guy goes, hey, can I pay with PayPal on this? Do you got PayPal? Is that cool? Yeah. Sends the money to him on PayPal. The guy goes to withdraw the money, and he said, and a thing popped up on the screen and said, you have to sign this W-9 so we can tax you on this and have it reported for his garage sale. So get ready, guys. This is happening. This is being limited. Now, the crazy thing is the cash deposits and the limits to cash deposits. In Israel, not being able to put more than $4,400 at a time in a bank account, again, what do you do if you run a cash business? And, you know, when I banked at Wells Fargo years ago, I hated getting in the merchant teller and being behind this one guy because he owned 3 gas stations. And I'm telling you, he would walk in there with 60 grand, okay? Here an account, sorry, Dan, you know, I will, you know, okay? Nice guy. But what does that guy do? Oh, you can't take cash anymore. Now, you talk to some of these people and they say, oh, cash is limited, Dan. It goes up, it goes down. I talk to restaurant owners, how's it with cash? The majority, it's with the debit cards and the credit cards. They're seeing more credit cards now than debit cards because people are prolonging paying for that nice meal than they were by ever, you know, more than ever before, guys. So our rights are being stripped from us. They're being taken away. And it's only a matter of time until there's none. And they clearly want a cashless society so that you can be tracked by everything that you do. And if you think that this is just here, you're crazy. This is worldwide. This is happening all over the place. And that's what we're seeing. I don't want to go by the yippee dog, so I'm going to turn back around this way. So that's what we're seeing, guys, more and more of that. So share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I think this is disgusting myself, because the American dream is, what if you want to go sell something at the swap meet? What if you want to go to the flea market or the county fair? And, one cool thing about living near beach communities is you get these artists, and you go to Laguna Beach, and you go to, Newport Beach and Huntington Beach, and you've got these street vendors that set up, for the Tuesday night street fair. And you go there and you buy stuff, and you buy fruit, and you buy, pictures and jewelry, and the girls got some dresses the last time we did this, okay? Couple credit cards. Oh yeah, I've got the little device, okay? But cash for the other stuff. So those poor people have to go and they're limited to that, how much they can put in. It's getting to be too much, guys. And the thing about this is that if you're not an organized person, the one bit of advice I'm going to give you is become organized. If you're not, now don't kid yourself, I can do my books myself and I can handle this. Think about this. One thing I talked about in that last video was the lawyer that teaches that class. And one thing I forgot that I forgot to mention is, how about this? How to set up a checking account, how to write checks. That's one thing he does with lawyers. Now think about this. Most lawyers went to 2 years of college, and then they went to law school after that. You don't generally just go into law school when you're a lawyer. So these people went to at least 2 years of college on average and don't know how to set up a checking account or write checks. Okay, so admit your downfalls when it comes to business. Admit your downfalls when it comes to marketing. Finance is everything. I'm not giving you financial advice, so please get some solid financial advice, but use this time to hire somebody. Because here's the cool thing about this is that if you look at like my channel, I wish you guys could be in my email threads, because I get people that are just dynamic, just absolutely amazing business people that, Dan, I do books for people now, and I was the CFO for a public company, and I earn a few $100 a month doing this. Imagine having David, that guy, doing your finances for you or giving you advice. And again, that would take an effort. He's probably not in your state or whatever, but look around. Go to LinkedIn, go to Craigslist even, and look for some of these people and have a conversation. Don't just hire the first person you meet, but get somebody knowledgeable. Talk to your accountant. One thing I always tell people to do is tax day rolls around and everybody gets all freaked out. We got to get ready for our taxes. Why don't you have a quarterly tax meeting with your accountant? Well, that would be expensive, Dan. That may cost a few $100 to sit down with him and talk to Steven about this stuff. Okay, probably is. But think of what it would save you. Thousands of dollars if you were not going on the right path, if you were, learned about this in July or August for that matter. So I always tell people to do this, and everybody that's done it writes me and thanks me. Oh, this is a really good idea because of the new laws that came out. So we're going to be taxed to oblivion right now. Get ready for it. And they're going to limit your freedoms as far as banking. Wow, I look really sweaty in this thing because it's so hot out here. Anyways, share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. There's a lot more to cover right now. Now, a little bit more on the banking thing right now. And that is, we're starting to see a lot more stories about how to protect yourself. Bank Tracker did 7 ways to protect yourself with cash and have cash transactions, and use Bank of America as an example. And a lot of these things are things we just talked about that are now reported. So Zelle and money orders and things like that are reported, to say the least. Now, I also included a couple great videos from TikTok where people were talking about getting money out of the bank and how they couldn't get money out of the bank. And one guy was one of the people that tried to get 100 grand out, and they told him no. But this happens all the time. I get people that write me and say, hey, I'm gonna go buy something. I need $6,000 in cash. How about $2,000 in cash and $4,000 in a cashier's check? No, I'm going to buy a car. Well, this way you can negotiate it, and then anything above $4,000 you can give him in cash. No, pass, okay? I know a dentist that fixes and restores Volkswagens, and this guy goes to, the Volkswagen shows, and the way he described them were you basically have somebody's lawn like this, and there'd be car parts out here. Yeah, that guy's going to take your check. No, he's not. He's going to take cash, and this guy will go to the bank and get himself $8,000-9,000 in cash. You're seeing ATMs limit the cash transactions in the cash inside the ATM and outside. I was at an ATM once getting cash, and a woman had stacks of $100 bills she was putting in the account. This is about a year ago. All of a sudden, the thing shut down and said they couldn't take any more cash from her, which I thought, God, that's kind of crazy. How much did she put in there? Because each whack looked like it was like five grand, and I saw her do it at least 3 times as I took my time at the ATM. Another man sent us a picture of going to his Chase Bank, and we cannot dispel money at this time for you. And also ViStar Bank. I love this one. Hey, the ATM problem is not a serious problem. We're going to have our online banking back by Monday morning. Again, happening more and more. ViStar, somebody we talked about 4 times now on the channel. It's the 4th time. Canada, when they had their shutdown last month, when I was in Vegas, and they had that huge outage, Politico has written a piece now to say, listen, don't worry about the Canadian banking industry. They're going to be fine. Your money is safe. Okay, says who? Politico? I mean, come on, guys. It's nuts, okay? So we're starting to see this more and more. But again, like I always tell everybody, have multiple banks. Credit unions are protected by their own agency. Banks, if you have $500,000 in your bank and it's not structured properly, you're only protected for up to $250,000 if the government's going to pay you. But John, I know you worked at that company for 25 years. How do you get all that money? You look like kind of a criminal. So maybe we should seize that from you. So hell is coming, guys. The next thing is our retail sales numbers just got announced, and they were flat for the month. And again, I can't stand shenanigans with this stuff, because if for this and we did this, you would be king. No, if we did this and if we took out food and we took out the price of gas, retail would be strong right now. Okay, well, it's not, guys. It's flat right now. Target steps forward and announces that they have a 90% hit on their profit, 90% off on Target's profit. Now, guys, when I think about smart businesses, I think of Target, guys. I think of Target as somebody savvy, somebody doing the right thing. Man, did they miscalculate all this stuff? They must have thought that there was going to be a stimulus check festival forever. That's the only thing I could think of, is that they kept thinking that these checks were going to keep being written and written and written, and all this excess inventory. And Target also had that huge expansion where they have those small Target stores now. I love these stores. They're very cool. They're like a regular Target, but everything's smaller. So you get a little less coffee, a little less clothes, a little less of this, but basically just the stuff you need inside the store. It's kind of cool to do that. So, they've taken a major hit. Now, the advice I want to give you guys is this. And the term that you need to learn right now is frugality. Got to learn to be frugal right now. If you can be frugal right now, you're going to survive this thing no matter how bad it gets. But think about this. You've got Target talking about how we have to dramatically lower prices on general merchandise. Fantastic, guys. My mother, as a single mother, my mom, hey, about this time of the year, hey, what do you think you want for Christmas? What are you leaning towards, okay? Well, it wasn't to talk about it. It was so she could save money for whatever we were leaning for her, towards. So the advantage to doing this right now, guys, is that you're going to see everything, and I mean everything, go on sale. Those barbecues that are sitting out in front of Home Depot and Lowe's that everybody sends me pictures of, you're going to see these barbecues, hey, you get a cup of coffee and a free barbecue, okay? Wait your turn, If your husband, ladies, is looking for that Traeger, he's looking for the Blackstone grill, just a matter of time until it's going to be a super deal. And if you could have him be patient, it'll be in his backyard and he'll be cooking you stuff around Thanksgiving. You just got to be patient with this stuff. But think about this. Look at your grandkids. Look at everybody you know. and how you can save money, and just keep your eye out for this stuff, because nobody has the money that they had a year ago. Everything is off right now, whether you believe it or not. Some places are doing great right now, but in general they're not. And you can talk about California and how bad it is here. I know a lot of people that are incredibly wealthy here that are gonna not skip a beat with anything, okay? But they love the advice. Hey, it's a good idea, Dan. I'm gonna go, I want that lawnmower. I'm gonna wait. I'm gonna go look at the pricing at 4 different places and then see when it comes down and go buy it. So do that for yourself, guys, right now. What's the worst that could happen, guys? Okay, you save a little money, a little responsible, but you have to do this thing called saying no, and you have to put things off and be responsible, and nobody wants that. Everybody wants immediate gratification on everything. No, just wait, and you'll be able to buy the computer and the printer. You'll be able to do things like that if you wait, because you have a budget, you got a number in mind. Do that right now. I'm telling you, it's gonna pay off. But this thing with the money, this thing with the banking, how it's happening more and more and more, and how you're seeing more and more banks shut down. You know, somebody told me they went to a Bank of America. Yeah, we had a power outage. They're sitting there, the lights are on. We have a power outage. We can't do banking. You can use the ATM. Huh? How does that work, guy? How does it work that you can talk to me in a lit building, but you have no power? Your computer's down, maybe? Oh, no, it's the power. We have a power outage. Okay. Share your thoughts on all this stuff, guys. I'm going to end this video with this last story, and I love this because the sheriff's department in San Luis Obispo got a call on Saturday night, and this person seemed distressed, and then they hung up the phone, and they traced the call to the San Luis Obispo Zoo, and it turns out a capuchin monkey had dialed 911. How awesome is that? Fantastic is that? Now, I would love, wouldn't you love a monkey? Like, hey, this is Dan's emotional support monkey. He can go anywhere with Dad. So I could take him to restaurants. He could just wreak havoc. I mean, and I would call him some great name like Brad or Gerald or something like that. It just, you know, he would be my monkey and we would go everywhere. Okay? Wouldn't that just be cool? The iAllegedly monkey. You know, there's that guy with his monkey again. And then I'd teach him how to dial the phone. I mean, that would be awesome. But, okay. I'm going to end it with this. There are Twitch streamers that these kids go out and they make a tremendous amount of money playing video games online for your children and grandchildren to watch these kids play. They have sponsors, they have ads, they have great thing on their live stream, and they make a tremendous amount of money doing this. These kids are getting swatted a lot where they're online at their house and somebody calls the cops and says that there's a crime being committed at that kid's house. And because he's live streaming, you see the police show up. It's horrible. Okay, that's why you never give your address, guys. Okay? Anyways, please don't forget to hit the like button. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel. Don't forget to try our sponsor if you're interested in a 401k or IRA, silver, physical gold, rollover, dial 888-330-1341, guys. Okay? Onward and upward, guys. I will see you guys very soon. Should I get the monkey, by the way? Let me know. What do we call the monkey?